welcome back. Or if you're new here, welcome. Just welcome in general. Matthew again here with you, line face, as you can see on the screen. Qualified 9th. This is Manufacturers round 9. Where are we? Autopolis Group 4. I'm in the Ferrari, as I have been all season, so shock horror. Qualified a bit further down the field. I did not get a good second run. Had a pretty solid first run, to be honest, but my second run was poor. Only improved by 1/10 of a second, which did not improve my position at the time, which was 7th. And I then lost out to Monkey Matt and I think John just up ahead. I then totally forgot to change tyres. I was intending to do a 5-lap stint on mediums and then a 4-lap stint on softs, which, unless you're one of the better cars like the Toyota or 4C around here, then that was probably the strategy that most were going to go for. But you see Monkey Matt in the Sirocco, who started just ahead of me, has moved up, beating the Renault into that hairpin. And Ranger, who started a little bit further up, I think he started 5th. He lost out to Mint GDR early and then has fallen back a bit and can't quite make his way past Conzio, who started 4th, and he's fallen back. So this was, most of my race here was just stuck in this group of cars. I felt I had better pace, and if I'd qualified ahead, I don't think I would have gotten into this sort of trouble. I don't know, maybe I would have, but that's on my qualifying again. I've really got to nail these flying laps when I'm on low fuel. And while I have improved on qualifying over the year, and it was a serious problem for me last year, just not being able to pull out a lap when I needed it, I've still got some work to do. So it still hampers my progress in races, especially around a track like this, which is quite difficult to pass. The straights, there's a couple of long straights, but they're often run into flowing corners, not with deep braking zones, and they can come off quite fast corners, so you're never going to get a really good drive and a really good draft down these straights. But anyway, I wasn't sure what to do starting on softs. I didn't know if I was going to do 5 laps at the start or do a 4-lap stint and then go with 5 laps at the end and change to mediums. But I thought I wasn't going to get past these guys without a hefty fight, which probably would have burned tyres and slowed everybody down. So I just bided my time and I just stayed behind them. And I thought I'd see how we go. And if the tyres lasted, then I might do an extra lap, or I'd make a call later on. So we rejoin lap 4, just going into lap 4, and there's a bit of a hustle and bustle up ahead. Monkey Man's trying to go around the Conzio, or Monkey Matt, sorry, I'll probably never get used to you changing that. Monkey Matt goes round the outside of Conzio with a bit better drive, I believe takes the position over. Ranger is fighting with John, and watch this move. This is just the advantage the 4C has. Just beautiful undercut, and then goes and defends inside for the hairpin. Really impressive, and I thought when John went a bit wide I was going to follow him. A little bit of a tap from Ranger helped. I try to keep him out wide a bit, and as soon as I can I take the line and try to prevent John from jumping back at me. But my tyres I felt were pretty good for lap 4, and I just thought I'd do the opposite whatever these guys are doing. So if these guys were going to pit, I would stay out, and if these guys pitted, if these guys didn't pit, then I would go in. But getting pretty close, but still pretty hard to get anywhere with everybody drafting off each other, especially with the Sirocco in the lead. Just being able to pull everybody else along. Conzio started 4th, I believe. He really outqualified, I think, his race pace. He didn't have great race pace, which is not like him. He's usually quite a good driver. So maybe it's just the car, or maybe he was also saving tyres. Because I think a lot of people struggle with tyres around here, as you can imagine. Very tyre limited race, and with high tyre wear and soft tyres available, then yeah, it's kind of a recipe. It's quite exciting though. It really throws up some interesting driving and interesting fights, and some things don't happen how you'd expect them to. But Monkey Conzio go in, I get a good run on Ranger, and because he's in an Alpha, then he doesn't really have much of a chance, to be honest. It's a bit of a shame. Alpha's such a great car, but it just... I guess it's got to have some weakness, doesn't it? Have a good battle into turn 1. I managed to hold the inside, get a better drive, and the Ferrari with higher top speed, I think, or better top end than the 4C, just maintains it. Which would have annoyed him because the 4C still would have had good tyres. We'll just jump back to him now. What am I doing? What am I pressing? There we go. Look at that. So yeah, so he's trying to find a way past. And I'll be holding up for this entire lap. This may have cost him the win, I wonder. Or at least, you know, a better position, better finishing position. But being stuck behind me, not being able to go as fast as he could, I've really held him up. Because I knew I was on for a 156 or a 157 on soft tyres on lap 5. So I knew it was bad. And I was really starting to struggle. I make a mistake into this corner. Just a bit too late on the brakes, a bit wide, have to stay off the power. And I just let him go. I knew he'd outbrake me and outturn me. So I wasn't going to fight for that anymore. I was really trying to fight Monkey and those guys that I was battling early on. So after the pit stop, coming out, Weapon just takes the inside, pulls it up beautifully onto the apex. Really nicely done. I thought he might have overshot that one. But I've lost, we're looking about 3 seconds up the road to John and Monkey and Conzio. So I'd lost about 3 seconds to them. Ranger pulled away at the end of that lap just before the pits. So he's got a second on me. And then obviously Weapon's just ahead. So I have to get past Weapon and then try to catch up to the other guys. If they were on mediums, then they would be better lap 4 or be able to defend against me lap 4. If they were on softs, then they're in a bit of trouble. I'm not sure what they're on. I may as well just have a look. Race mediums for Legend. Race softs, softs, softs. So they all went softs for a 5-lap stint at the end. That's surprising, especially Monkey. I thought he might go mediums and just have to defend a bit harder early on. But then, you know, be able to hold his position more easily from probably lap 3 of stint. Soft, soft, soft. Softs for everybody. So up the front, Hollow leads from Adam, who leads from Psydog. Adam qualified first, ahead of Holland. Psydog took third. So Psydog quite a good position, because the 2 cars ahead were going to burn their tyres. Probably a lot harder than the Toyota. So early on, Psydog said it to me himself that he was in a favourable position. And I certainly agreed. Third place with those 2 cars ahead around this track, quite a good position to be in. Jumping back to me, I get a run on Weapon. I just have a bit of a look. He outbrakes himself a bit too late, and I just get on the power really hard. Ferrari's got good drive and good traction, so just trying to use it to the best of its ability. Comfortably into 9th. And the battling pack up ahead are slowly falling back, as you can see. So we're within a second and a half. So catching up to Ranger, who's now being held up by that battling pack who we were with earlier. So just right on board with Monkey now. Just has a minor incident up here. It's actually Conzio. Oh, it wasn't really Conzio, was it? Well, it was. But Conzio gives Monkey a tap into the hairpin, but it was actually John, I think, who taps Conzio, who then Conzio hits Monkey a second time. There. So Monkey goes off. That cost him all his positions. They both got away without a penalty on this one, which surprised me, because I was behind and I obviously saw Monkey go off and thought one of those two would... Well, actually I thought Conzio did it, so I thought Conzio would get the penalty. Monkey goes wide again. I just give him a wee tap in this corner, didn't mean to. Just a little bit too fast. Tried to go up the inside or have a look. Gives me a tap, so I back off a bit. And then just look how slow the Sirocco is. This is lap 3 on his tyres. And he is just slow. I'm just sitting here going, come on. I want to catch up to these guys. Give them another tap. Unfortunately. Look up the inside. It's not going to work for me either. But I get a good drive out of here. Monkey has to really wait on that Sirocco. Had to be really patient with that thing. So I get a good drive up beside him. I don't pull over to the left. He starts tapping me, assuming that I'm going to move over to the left. I figure I may as well compromise his line, his entry, into turn one as much as possible. I don't have to move if I don't want to. And he outbrakes himself. He tries to pull up on the apex, did a really good job. I saw it coming and just ducked under him. If I'd missed that and started accelerating where I normally would, I probably would have ploughed into him. But he had some good defensive driving. That was really good by Monkey. But unfortunately for him, I got the better of him this time. And just up ahead you could see Ranger has gone past John and Conzio and is flying off into the distance. Because that 4C can do 51s for days. Final lap here. I've finally caught up with Conzio and John. I feel like I've got an opportunity to take 6th. So I'm just pushing as hard as I can. Assuming their tyres are gone. I have a look up the inside. A little bit too late. It would have been quite a dive. John went very late on the brakes too. And went wide. So I only just managed to pull it up without tapping anybody. Into this corner. I thought John might go wide, but he didn't this time. Unlike he did earlier when I got past him. Really just trying to take a nice corner, get a good line, and get a good drive to get past them. But John is of course sitting in Conzio's draft, so it does make it harder for me to go past him. I think about the inside up here, but I thought it was too far back. But looking back, Conzio and John really broke early. Well, Conzio broke early and John had to also break early because of the tyre wear. And I probably could have thrown up the inside because I was really early. I had a lot more grip there, but I didn't use it. And then I was thinking, just trying to cut one up the inside, one of these corners, one of them going wide on old tyres. But they both kept quite a tidy line and quite tight line, so it didn't really give me much opportunity. See, up the inside here, when somebody goes wide on old tyres is a good one. But they're both driving quite nicely. Oh, John just gets a bit wide through that corner. Oh, and Mint. That was a big mistake from Mint. So as you saw, John just got a little bit wide through that left-hander. On the exit of the left-hander. Gets on the grass, and you see it pitch around. He knocks into me. I probably save him a little bit. Yeah, you just see him get on the grass a little bit, puts him sideways. The game gives me a half-second penalty for cutting that corner. But thankfully I was about 1.5 seconds ahead of John by the time I hit the start-finish line. So I retain my sixth position, with Conzio coming up just ahead of me, which was a good effort by Conzio. We're just going to jump back to Mint. Wow. Oh, he gets off there. It was such a shame to see Mint spinning like this. That was weird, wasn't it? That was just a weird spin. I don't think I've seen something like that before. Did he brake and... Oh, he... Was that inadvertent? He hits not the apex, he hits the handbrake. You see it flash up for a moment as he turns right. Was he just trying to drift? He'd given up? I don't know. I appreciate it though, Mint. Thank you for that. I'll take 6th. I'll take every position I can in the Ferrari. Just jumping to the leaders now. Final lap. Sidok had got himself ahead of Adam and was chasing down Holland for first place. As you can see, tyres are pretty worn all round. Holland's are in worse condition, the rears especially. He's going to have a lot of trouble with traction. Oh, Sidok throws it up the inside into that corner. That's what I was thinking. Worn tyres and a driver going wide, if you can keep a tight line through there, you can make a position up, and Soldog does just slide through quite nicely. A little bit of a tap, but nothing too offensive. That was fine. Heck, if that was me, I'd be really annoyed. So nah, not good enough, Si. Do it clean next time. But good racing up front. Well done, Si. Taking first, Holland, Adam, and then Ranger. Ranger, who was, you know, with me for most of the race. After the pit stops, we're about 8 or 9 seconds behind the leaders, and he finishes 2 seconds behind the leaders. Just absolute nuts. Nuts from that 4C. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. I just had to jump back and get footage of the 2 Ferraris side by side. It's the first time this season, I believe, in the top split room that we've had 2 Ferraris in it, and it was great to see. So well done GTP Legend for getting into the top split room this time. It was a good effort, and it was brilliant seeing a sister Ferrari on track and in a cool livery too, so double points. But that's it from me. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed this race. I quite like actually the high tyre wear. I know the high tyre wear is causing a rift between the cars that can handle it and the cars that can't. You know, there's a bit more unbalance there. But we've been doing a all season long we've been doing high tyre wear races. And I'm kind of getting used to it, and I'm kind of enjoying it and enjoying the battles it throws up. Because you're getting different cars being fast at different points during a stint or during a race, and it can create some close battles and some quite interesting battles. It's quite exciting. I know a lot of people don't like it, probably hate it, but I'm starting to get into it. And they're probably going to change it next season, because I don't imagine it staying like this for too long. But as I said, thank you for watching. We got the last race at Lago Maggiore, however you say that, the lake track, which is really cool. I'm not sure how the Ferrari's going to go around there. It's Group 3. It's going to be a blast anyway. It's going to be a good one to wrap up the season with. So I will hopefully see you then. Thanks, bye.